So the answer is
A.
A.
Is it the cutoff 6 years old, or is it any pediatric?
8 years old.
8 years old.
Yep. Okay. All right, easy cake. That was question number 1. No big deal, but your job is on the line.
Kris,
Yes.
is that for pediatric just for medical patients?
It's intubations, any sort of pediatric patient. They don't want you intubating.
Because you could fix the respiratory.
No, it's a technique, issue, skill stuff.
Oh, yeah.
If you can be a lesson, then you have enough time to be able to call and talk to the doctor.
I lost my job already.
So it's that kind of thought process. Be a lesson as much as you
I'll see
can.
you later.
All right, number 2.
I'm ready.
2. B.
What did I put?
Anybody have anything other than B? Oh. All right, we're at 50% so far.
Ooh, I got that one right.
Yep, it is. 3,
B.
4.
Whoa, whoa, slow down, sir. Good, sir.
Hey, Kris.
We're not reading it again.
Dustin, at the risk of sounding like a total idiot, isn't there an additional 12 milligram dose in Lane County protocols? I know not nationally.
There's just Lane County protocol.
Used to be.
Used to be.
6, 12, 12.
Let's look right now.
Okay.
See, I'm glad I went back so people can ask questions. Try to sass me again.
Okay. Pretty sure I
Oh,
will.
there is a second dose of 12 milligrams.
Is there?
Maybe repeat it in 1 to 2 minutes.
I'm sweating.
Oh, no, that's it. No, 6 and 12. Sorry. 6 and 12. 6 and 12.
It's only,
Yes.
I appreciate the
so there's
question.
no third?
No third.
It's okay.
It's just, it says second dose of 12, and they mean that's your second dose, and it's 12, not your second dose of 12 milligrams.
I was reading.
The way it's written is 6 is your first, 12 is your second, but it says second dose of 12.
That's a good bet. How long will the button-up shirt last?
It's right. I mean, God, just a sneak peek.
I misread 4. I thought it was specifically for 14-year-olds.
We're not too far yet. We haven't got
Are we looking at 4 now?
Which one you want to pick? Before we move on. We're more confident about it. Damn it, there was.
Okay, what do you got for number 4?
C.
C.
Oh, wait.
Minor cannot be left at the scene unless a parent or guardian is present and signs the patient refusal.
You got that, girl. I'm gonna. Yes.
Are you guys 100% sure on that?
Oh, fuck. I just circled it too.
Well, I guess if you're at a school.
The age of patient consent and organ is.
But that's technically a guardian's
See, but they're
work.
Yeah.
They get the guardian sign offs. They get guardianship
Oh, wait.
rights
Permission.
at a school,
Hey,
that they can do medical treatment
In loco parentis.
in your place, your stead.
Anybody want to change?
mm-hmm.
I don't remember what the consent age is though. I know it's less, I
Kris,
think,
it's D, isn't it?
I don't think
The age of patient consent in Oregon is 14 years old. Which of the following is true? Is 14 the age?
I hope not. I don't trust my
18, 15.
15?
I believe it's 15.
So that rules out D and E.
14. It is 14.
It is
14? Over 14?
Oregon has made exceptions
Oh, I got you, okay.
in general. Anyone 14 years old can consent to have. Oh, never mind. That's something different.
What's the answer?
Let's look at this again.
I love how you started reading that before you read it for yourself.
Was that just a Google search, or did you already have that on
For
your phone?
medical treatment. Let's go specific. 15 for medical
If a
treatment.
child is under the age of 15 years, they
It is
have
15.
no responsible adult present, then it becomes prudent to transport the child to the hospital for follow-up and safekeeping. So the age is 15. Okay?
14 for sex.
Yeah.
Minor cannot be left at the scene unless a parent or guardian is present. That signs the patient refusal. So, with that being said, if we read further, it is acceptable to arrange a custodial situation with a responsible adult until the parent arrives. Like at a school, or a neighbor, or somebody that you've made contact with a parent, you've talked to them, and says, hey, we have so-and-so here with your child, is it okay if we Huh? Then you would have to take it.
But A has the child sign it.
There's no responsible adult around.
But there's a witness by an adult.
Parent or guardian is present, so you would have to have a guardian.
So it's B.
So it's not a legal guardian, it's just a guardian.
It's C.
So C would be your answer, because there is no guardian that has been able to attribute to the custodial
It's
care.
saying that they not be left at the scene unless the.
Did everyone hear that?
So basically, the way the question would be clarified, so this would be one of those ones that if you get it wrong, you go and you have the discussion of being like, well, I interpreted it like this guardian is the custodial care. There is no one available for that custodial care. And then they take that into the interpretation, they say, you know what, you're right, okay, you pass that one.
Can I say something there? Because this is really important. You've got to read that question better than that. Right, this is what we've been talking about. You've got to read that question better than that. So it says, which of the following statements is true regarding the patient rights? A minor cannot be left at the scene unless the parent or guardian is present and signs the patient. Is that true? Is that a true statement?
That's true.
No, it is not. You can leave them if a responsible adult is present. That makes that statement false. Just because there isn't a responsible adult present and therefore you have to transport does not make that statement a true statement to the question. Remember, we've talked a lot about how to make sure you're reading these questions correctly. Every question is going to bite you in the ass when you take your national exam too. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, could you explain it again, please?
Yeah, so the correct answer is B, yes?
No, C.
No. You can leave
No, it
them
says
if there's a
yeah.
responsible adult.
Right.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so the answer is B to this question. And what you're saying is, someone is throwing in the argument of, well, hey, what if there's not a responsible adult around? So therefore the answer must be C. No. Just because there's not a responsible adult around does not make C the correct answer, because you can leave them at the scene if there is a responsible adult. This says, this question is telling, or this answer is telling you that under no circumstances can you leave them at the scene. You cannot leave them at the scene, but you can if there's a responsible adult. So therefore, this is not a true statement to that question. You have to read those questions correctly. We've had these conversations before about you really figuring out what the question is asking. You have to read those questions correctly. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Just because there's not a responsible adult around does not mean you can't leave them if there was. Right? Circumstances don't dictate what the answers are. Right? You can't add circumstances in to make the question correct for you. Does that make sense?
So final answer?
B.
B.
And you better not miss one more mark.
Yeah, me too.
You're at 80%.
How many can we miss? Two?
Two.
Oh, same with you, buddy.
I know I missed that one.
Oh, you reading it again, Chris?
Challenge.
Oh,
I'm about to.
minor cannot be left at the scene.
Both of them require a guardian or some sort to sign for them.
So look at the cannot and then the unless. You have the cannot and the unless, right?
I'm, yeah, it's because I'm,
Alright. Here we go. 5.
C. Yeah, C.
I'm out.
You have to understand what you're doing.
So you're going to result or go to a physician's desk reference?
I said B. I said B.
I put B too.
Because you would use
But I don't.
familiar in the situation.
What do you guys think?
That might not be possible.
see?
They're giving you this patient with this situation.
You have the right,
I
you
say
can
B,
give any
there's
drug
no
if you
reason
have
to
the
familiarize yourself
information.
with all these medications.
You can give any drug as long as you give the information and you give the permission to.
Exactly, so you would need the hospital staff
You
to
have to
know.
understand what you're doing. So for us locally, what we do is, we actually, if there's a piece of equipment, if there's a medication that we're unfamiliar with, either we do one of two things. We either get a briefing on it so that we completely understand it and we feel 100% comfortable with it. We don't consult with the physician's desk reference. We don't do any of that stuff, right?
Oh, PDR.
So we make sure that we're 100% confident, which is not very often because we constantly will go with the, hey, we don't understand this medication, right? Because 2 minutes of, hey, this is what the medication is. Hey, you gotta titrate it up, titrate it down. We're not familiar with the pumps. We're not familiar with any of that stuff, okay? So what we do is we're like, hey, if you're gonna put somebody on this equipment, this medication, it's like, hey, send somebody with us that knows the equipment, that if something goes wrong, they can fix it on the way there.
There's a door, Mark.
Which was a big
I'll go with
learning
you.
curve.
Fun.
And this was a big
I'll
learning
go with
curve for
you.
me because Eugene Springfield locally does things a whole lot different than Western Lane does, and LFA and South Lane. With those, they would be like, hey, here is your orders. It's a blank piece of paper, and they say, whatever you do, we'll write it down when you guys get back. Keep the person alive, right? And you're like, oh, awesome, right? An hour in the back. Here locally, with like my very first transfer I did, they're like, hey, we got a nitro drip going. My preceptor person or FTEP was just like, yeah, we're not doing that. I'm like, what? What do you mean we're not doing that? Like, that's like a easy peasy transport. They're like, yeah, nope. A, we don't do the nitro drips, and B, we don't know your pumps and stuff like that. They're like, so if you want the person to go, you gotta send somebody with us. I was like, okay. So just know that at other agencies, it will be a little bit different in that process. Okay. All right, sepsis. This must be a piece of cake.
B.
Oh, Lord.
I was thinking A, but
I put A.
I got C.
people kept saying D.
But then it could be D, because then you gotta figure out your sepsis protocol to go down the rest of the items.
Sepsis should be considered in which of the following patients? What do you got? How many people have A? How many people have B?
And then nitrogen.
How many people have C? How many people have D?
Shit.
I like D. Which of the following for adenosine?
A.
All the above.
Hey. It's and bradycardia, you give everything.
Of course.
A.
Not sure.
Wait. What was 6?
I don't know.
D.
Alright.
Hey Chris,
Yeah.
Yeah.
can you go back to the sepsis question?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the
So am I.
protocol and it should be A.
Well, that is your absolute. If somebody has severe vomiting, diarrhea, could they have some sort of infection happening?
Yes.
Okay, so basically it's
Yeah, but that's not the question.
yeah, considered. So you're just considering, right? So you're evaluating and you're considering.
So the protocol
The
states.
protocol, you're looking for altered LOC, hypotension, hypoxia, elevated serum lactate, or decreased end-tidal CO2. And then it has your inclusion criteria for when to go code 3 with temp, respiratory rate, and heart rate, and end-tidal.
Okay, so would you say somebody that has severe vomiting and diarrhea that is fully alert and talking to you with a fever but meets all the other vital signs criteria wouldn't be a sepsis alert?
It would, but it's not what the protocol states.
Right. So that's where this is where you get to read into those questions a little bit. So the consideration.
It's not what he said though.
Read into the
Contradicting what he said.
What?
We said this is where you read into the question.
But he said protocol states. The protocol doesn't state it.
Protocols are a
You
guideline.
should be considering.
You can say that, but it's a guideline right until you deviate from your protocol and then you lose your license.
But are you deviating if you're doing a sepsis alert with somebody that meets the criteria.
So the wording of
I mean,
protocol
but nowhere
states,
on
you
your
can't
protocol
say that.
So this is the
criteria
fun
is it
part.
saying that
So,
you're gonna include
So we take these tests on Friday, and every single Monday, this is the exact conversation that occurs. Because everybody does exactly what Corey says and reads the question differently and interprets it differently. And so basically, you come up with the argument, which you're not allowed to do at the national level, which is good. But like for department-wide stuff, when you have these interpretations, it's like, hey, give me the reason and your thought process behind your question.
So is the question asking, if you have these things, then think about your sepsis protocol to look for other factors that lead you further down to say they're septic? Like somebody with severe vomiting diarrhea, okay, maybe I should start thinking sepsis and look for my other sepsis factors or indications.
And that's where this consider part, so that's where I would interpret that. But I understand your approach where it says the exact wording word, that is your only option.
Okay. So I wouldn't,
Of a sepsis.
I'm not saying that it's your only option, I'm saying according to protocol, what should be considered for the following statements, and in your protocol, it's altered mental status. Nowhere else in the protocol does it mention coarse breath sounds or severe vomiting and diarrhea. Those might include you into your sepsis protocol, but then you're gonna find other evidence. The two or more criteria, if you're elevated for rate or elevated respiratory rate or your decreased end tidal.
It sure does say that.
I agree with that statement.
It says suspected infection or
And those are things that would have to be affected.
You can say that, but I'm incorrect.
Moving on. We're not gonna get hung up on it, we got a lot of other stuff to do.
It's your fault.
Because it doesn't say,
We're all
the
right.
question says nothing about sepsis. So
Y'all are great.
Okay, here we go, 7, which of the following is indication of adenosine?
A.
Hey.
Did we say A?
Yep. 8, what is the dose of albuterol for hyperkalemia?
2.5.
B.
2.5 milligrams.
A?
B.
B?
be,
Oh, did I say B?
C?
Oh, you said.
D? Alright, B is your answer. And we'll cover that a little bit today when we talk about, some of the hyperkalemia.
Good, because I missed it.
This I
Alright, what percentage you guys come up with on this? I didn't even do the math, let's see.
I
You're
did
at
D.
41.
I put
There's a
B.
7.
I put B.
I did like 8.
I did 9, 9, 9.
The head's more, isn't it?
Oh, I forgot the head. But isn't the front 18?
I don't remember.
So the whole arm is 9.
Whole arm's 9. So, and then each leg, front of each leg is 9, right? So 18 and 18 is 36.
But there's no legs.
I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, it's the anterior torso.
What is the anterior torso?
18,
Alright, what is the left arm?
9.
Okay, so what does that equal so far?
27.
Okay, and is there anything else, Vern?
Scalp.
Full anterior
No, skull burn, that's not scalp.
Scald burn. Ha, I read that wrong.
The entire left
I read the full anterior. I missed out torso.
So what did we come up with?
27.
Okay.
Ten-
How about your stroke alerts?
This I did not
A.
I put A.
I thought it was all of them, but because within
But
6 hours,
Yeah,
it's true. A wake-up stroke is true,
yeah.
and the radio report, I think.
Wake up report, yeah. The wake up stroke, yes.
And within
And
6
then
hours.
3.
Okay, so let's just go through these and confirm, yes or no, okay? We'll start with the wake-up strokes. Can we do wake-up strokes?
Yes.
So we know for sure C is in.
Yeah.
Okay? New stroke, patient is candidate for thrombosis if the patient is known to have an onset symptoms within 6 hours.
Yes.
Thrombolysis, candidate for thrombolysis. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Oh, well,
Yes,
So we got B and C for sure,
correct.
yeah.
okay? And we know D covers both of those,
Yeah.
alright? So we at least have D so far. A, stroke alert should be called in on by the phone and need to include patient's name, age, date of birth, last seen time, and military time.
I would say
Yes.
that's true too.
That's for C staff. That's for C staff.
But any stroke alert you should be calling.
Oh, wait, Ellis?
All stroke alerts
So
get
then
called
what's
in.
the answer?
Okay, and then with that
All of
information,
the above?
the
There's
random
only
stuff will
another-
probably start changing a little bit,
No.
because we're doing this Pulsera thing. So some of this stuff may slightly alter because we're doing everything via phone. So, if we
This is
know
my
A,
question.
B, and C, what does that
Oh,
do?
it better
There's
not
no
be
all of the
E.
above.
There's no all of the above, right?
So none of the above?
You're not saying it's
What?
E.
Now what do you do?
That's a shitty question.
Which is.
What is Yeah, so you want the one that covers everything?
No,
No?
because they're different questions, different answers, types of answers.
But for wake up, you should still call it
So
A.
that's wrong.
So I would say there's something, I would say there's something missing in A, theoretically.
Pull it up. Who's got it?
We're
Because
missing,
we've already confirmed that D is accurate, yes?
Yes.
So we know B and C. But for some reason, A isn't, oh wait,
So on the
Is there something
protocol,
missing? Yeah.
B wouldn't be correct
Patient's
because
name.
B says that the patient's a candidate for thrombolysis. Thrombolysis, I don't know how to talk. And it does not say anything about them being a candidate for thrombolysis in the protocol.
oh, it just throws that 6 hours out at you. But
yeah.
then what happens then? So then
What's
we're
a
back to just C
thrombolysis?
then, right? But then we all thought A was accurate.
It doesn't say anything about wake-up strokes in the new protocol either.
I thought there's a with less than
What'd
6
you say,
months.
Andrew?
Are you sure?
Ah, shit.
Yeah, sure.
Transport all stroke alerts
What'd I put?
urgently
I put A.
and should include name, age, date of birth, last seen while in military time.
So this is per protocol.
Oh, now you wanna look exactly at the protocol, but guess what? You're gonna get the wrong.
I love analyze.
Yeah, it's that.
They changed this recently.
April, we got that. We don't know. Oh, no, it's not. We're still out though, we're three.
I'm so mad because I, one of the ones that he said, like, oh, all the ones are all the ones are B.
So as of February 5th, as of a month ago, they took the wake-up stroke out.
Yeah, I was gonna say they just took the wake up stroke out.
This is all different
And
as 2
so,
months ago.
And that's something that I started wondering about because we actually don't all. What is it? So they took the wake up stroke away in February.
Yeah.
So as of February, which this was done before February.
So now the only answer is A.
So would it be A?
Yeah,
So what was it before and what is it now?
It's A. As of 2 months ago, it's A.
So A would be your answer with
Uh,
the new protocol.
What was it before?
It would have been not on there. It would have been A, B, and C.
You got it right. Good job.
Hey, piece of cake, right? Super simple questions. Only your job on the line every day when you show up every single week. And you spend.
So 50%. Good job.
50%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, you got 50% too.
Good job.
Can we add 10?
No,
What's that? Damn it.
that backfired more than anything I've ever done.
We get it.
You were so excited at the beginning.
I was trying to help you guys out and get you guys ready, and then I remembered every Monday we wouldn't yell at the training staff, but we were like, no, these questions are wrong, and half the time, like that was the biggest thing is our test bank is so messed up and it's constantly changing that they would constantly not have the right answer. So you would write in a correct answer and be like, this is the actual word, and you lay it down.
But if you have protocol changes, your test has to change too. And
Well, that's the thing is, the
Yeah.
tests don't change, they keep
Yeah.
the same test bank, and so, like, with that wake-up stroke, as of, I think, I wanna say it was, a year ago was the last update that she sent that to me, so it doesn't have any of the new stuff in it.
yeah.
So. Melanie, did you have something? No, okay, good. Justin, yes.
Do the EJ thing.
Thank you, Justin. Let's do that first. Can we do that first?
Yeah.
Okay. EJ.